What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Covert Go Bald. Welcome to another episode of Point and Laugh, the magic show where I make you a better deck builder and a worse person by means of admonishment. This week, we're looking at a control deck that's promising us it's not just a phase. After that, it's one big hear me out. And in extremely related news, I am now deaf. Finally, we have a magic deck that seeks to answer the age-old question, how do I win with 1-3-6? Thank you very much for your time. For everybody who subscribes, I will be allowing my editor one moment of peace. Mango! Quit looking so damn peaceful. Bracket 3, Azorius Combo Control Pillow Fort Wheels. This is a word cloud of reasons to kill you via lethal injection. Primer. The combo. Have Hive Mind in play, along with any creature that can counter a spell as an ability. Cast Teferi's Protection or Perch Protection. Force everybody else to cast them. Their spells resolve on the stack first. You counter your own Teferi's Protection with your creature's ability. You play Disciple, which prevents anything from phasing in. So for those of you keeping track at home, things are now phased out forever. Finally, cast the Cthulhu Demon, the actual source of the voices. Now thanks to Annihilator, they never get to play the game again, and you beat them to death. Motherfucker! Is your silly combo the entire backstory of Fallout? What the f is happening here? I need to go to the PowerPoint to track this f***ery. So we have Hive Mind, we have Tef Pro, we have Disciple of Kalis Nin, and then we have like Curse Catcher. So with the power of these 4 cards combined, everybody's stuff is gone forever, and then you beat them to death. I'm not going to contest that the setup for this isn't spooky. I cannot in good faith listen to anybody who was like, this motherfucker won out of nowhere. One moment they had their commander in Hive Mind and then kicked off. Like, that person deserved to die. So if people are letting you do this, they do deserve to die. However, I can't help but notice, like, can corporate explain the difference between those two pictures? For me, the only difference is you also stacked Farewell onto it. Motherfucker sat down and went, the reason people don't like Teferi's Protection into Armageddon is that it doesn't involve somebody spending 15 minutes cackling. It does sort of have to limit itself to tables where it's appropriate unless Chaotic Order is a dipshit liar. Because this is Bracket 4. There is no way to get around this is mass land denial, which makes it a Bracket 4 deck. And at a Bracket 4 table, if you get hit with this dog shit, Chaotic Order deserves to do like a Fortnite dance on your playmat after the game. If we take all of everybody's permanents and then play Ulamog, you are winning that game. If people don't scoop at this point, they deserve to fucking die. If this combo fails, I think the floor of the deck is I play Ulamog anyway. That is a legitimately good thing. Being able to take the Rube Goldberg penis explosion chamber and be like, this has failed, right? They removed Hive Mind, you know, I got fucking surgical extracted on my Teferi's Protection because somebody I had played the deck against before saw me. End of the day, you cost reduce Ulamog and you play Ulamog. I want to be clear before I say this. This deck is a walking ad for tire irons, okay? The fact that you still have blood in your body, Chaotic Order, is a testament to the kindness of humankind. The only thing I will take any issue with is the idea that you are on a vanishing, or you are on a phasing theme deck. That thing you said about like on theme protection, which is phasing, your theme is a bullet-ridden tarp that is loosely pulled over your tentacle monster in your backyard, and you have painted phasing on it. If I ever played against this deck and they like interviewed me post-game and they were like, what did you think about Chaotic Order's phasing deck? I would be like, what fucking deck are you talking about? I played against Calamari Surprise. Classic permanent phase-out card, Omniscience. Impeccable behavior, dude. Fucking snaps for you, brother. I'm trying to fill out in my head how effective this gets to be as a control deck when the only control it has access to is sometimes I can make your stuff go away for part of a turn. We have some very bad counterspellers, but these are... So I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, how much of this only matters for the combo, and how much of this phasing shit is me pretending I have a theme other than the combo. So let's see, 0 lands, probably can't keep that one. 2 lands, Omniscience, has to work out. Out of Time's not gonna do a goddamn thing. All right, we go down to 6. Bunch of lands. One of our combo pieces, sure. Ori and the Bee, what Hive Mind does is when any player casts a spell, every other player casts the spell. So what this deck wants to do is it wants to have Hive Mind. They cast Teferi's Protection, which means every player at the table cast Teferi's Protection. They only counterspell their own Teferi's Protection. So everybody else has their stuff phase out. Then they play the creature Disciple of Kalis Nin. This Disciple has a bunch of text. The only important text is permanence can't phase in. So they stick this after the fact, which means basically you got super farewelled as long as this thing is on the field. And then they play Ulamog and beat you to death. Maul, why do you say Discipline? Because I feel like it. So we get to Surveil 1. I mean, sure, we're a control deck. We probably need counter spells. Play this. Oh yeah, this deck's crazy good, dog. I guess I pay 3 to flip Heliod. I am a demon. I am a straight up demon. All right, everybody draws 2. Our spells are now cost reduced by 6, right? Because it's 2 cards per opponent. So this is free. We get... What's the last bit? Oh, well, we need Disciple, and we can't get Disciple. So I feel like we probably search for a wheel instead. We have the Counterspeller in play. We have Teferi's Protection. We need Ulamog, and we need Disciple. Yeah, this is on our turn, so it's not 7. Doesn't the Disciple phase out all but 5 of your cards too? Yes, but at that point, it doesn't matter because our opponents have nothing. Okay, so we get Step Through. We Wizard Cycle Step Through, because I'm guessing Disciple of Kalis Nin is a wizard. We get this dumbass, and we do all that and then pass. I think what's most wrong about this deck is any combat step that doesn't involve somebody hitting you. Hey, it's not too powerful based on how many steps we have to go through, but we have gone through 7 turns of being the fakest fucking control player ever. We still can't even do it this turn because we have to wait for somebody else to draw a bunch of cards to cost reduce this enough. So we'll say somebody draws a card, somebody draws multiple cards, and then we explode their entire life about it. We do all this, you have nothing, I have Disciple of Kalis Nin. Yeah, this fucking honks, dude. This fucking honks. I'm gonna retroactively have cycled that. Hell yeah. Imposing and fucked up. Everybody draw. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, we didn't even have Hive Mind. It didn't even work. Jesus God. Final notes. This phasing shit is made up. This is made up as hell. This is as much a theme of the deck as the theme of any deck is I cast spells, bro. The end point of your combo is everything is phased out forever. So I understand why the natural backup point of that is like, oh, my deck needs to have a theme. My combo is phasing, therefore my entire deck needs to be phasing. Which is like, hey man, that'll fly in 3rd grade English. That won't fly here. I'm trying to think of what on-theme interaction would be, because it sure as hell wouldn't be phasing. Based on what you have told me about your pod, the closest thing this deck has to a theme is I abuse people who have short-term memory loss because they keep forgetting that I'm going to combo win as soon as I cast Teferi's Protection. So I really think like all of the phasing should get cut. You could put in some generically good removal, like Council's Judgment to sort of slow things down. I really don't think... God, you're playing this into somebody who thinks their dinosaur deck is really good, aren't you? Oh my fucking God. Okay, so legitimately, there's no fixing this. All we can do is enjoy our trip to the zoo, and I hope your pod is having fun. But we are playing peekaboo with people who have just slid out of the birth canal. They don't know what's going on. The ways to upgrade this deck would be to put in more generic removal and really accept that phasing is not a theme. If you want the deck to have a theme, that is cool and you can meditate on what that theme might be. But right now, the theme of this deck is I have an extremely convoluted combo that will at least win the game. And honestly, another thing that might be better is more things that win. Right now you have 2 cards out of 100 that matter, and a few other cards that only matter if the Rube Goldberg machine comes together. And if you ever wanted to take this deck into public and not be beat within an inch of your life or ostracized immediately, it would benefit greatly from having more things that filled the role of like, hey, I'm a group hug deck that cost reduces, and you let me cost reduce things by 10. So now I'm going to hit you with dog shit.
None of this would be possible without support from our highest tier Patreon members, so please join me and Little Nadu as we take a moment to thank Badger King, Sussedin, Christian B, Ryan A, Adam S, Solar Movie, Biggest Dickus, Kyle, Jess HW, Alpha Dog 2064, Crimson Viper, Zelenor, Otterfire, Dad Out for Milk, Kyler P, Bolus Brigade, Derek H, Phelan, B Leave, Dungeon Masters Consortium, Zach G, Bobby Joe Lord, Talamar Von Geist, Troper and their 37 different identities, Bradley T, Bo, Beefcake, and Silky Wilkie. Thank you all, and enjoy the video. Hi everybody, welcome to the Mango Money Moment, a new segment that exists only because YouTube has told us that if their automatic mid-roll placer doesn't believe that my video has enough dead air in it to constitute a transitional phase, they will not put monetized ads in the middle, which can really cut into the editor's leak budget. So we're gonna have these moments where we just stop and stare for a little bit.
Next, we have Starry-Eyed Nightwing, who has submitted a silly deck. Let me be clear, the only reason I didn't drop $500 to have this deck roasted sooner is because I am currently commissioning a fursuit. I stand before you unafraid to expose my Twitter bookmarks. I am once again here to prove you correct. For those who have forgotten or simply missed the first time, the following is a collection of as many Scalys I would happily smash as I could fit into one deck, while maintaining some hope of it playing Magic. Due to the diversity of my tastes, the deck needs a Maskwood Nexus on the field to function, but with that requirement met, Blue will be able to act as a fluffer for the imminent reptile pile. Mauled, as I said before, if you can improve it, please do. If not, I defy you to disagree with my choices. People of the doghouse, hear me out. First and foremost, if you ever shop this deck to Gen Pop with any theme other than I just think they're neat, I am calling the police on you. You deserve to be persecuted. You deserve to be persecuted just as much as the people who play This Is My Deck full of hot people. So it's not because you're a Scaly, it's because you're being too horny and we need to put you in jail. Alright, so we have Blue and Owen Grady. I mean, Team Your Reptiles feels incredibly easy to make work. Yes, core assumption, everything passes the Harkness test. We exist in an alternate reality where all of these reptiles are sentient and consenting and of age. Scales are scales when Maskwood is out. Oh, not the babies, dude. So this is actually immediately where I disagree with you, because all of the ways, and again, even though I called them babies, we will Harkness test, they're all legal adults. No, they're all legal adults. But they're too small. I am going to body shame the reptiles at this point. The thing that allows a lot of the dinosaurs to pass on my smasher passes, the exhibitionist rule of, wow, it's really impressive. It's really impressive that you had relations with this thing. This feels a lot like the ostrich situation from Letterkenny. I think the face I would make if I heard a rumor that one of my friends had sex with a velociraptor, I would go, I would not be like, which is the face you want people to make. See, like this one, I can almost, hell yeah. I can see the whisper of snitties on the front end here. No, not Dragon Kevin Hart, bro. Get out of here. Then I consider this one because it's at least humanoid. Can we hit a tag tour real quick? Anatomically correct. I have no idea what this means. Cold-blooded killing. Kind of real. Hey, I understand all of these cards have to be bad for the theme. Why do so many of these cards have to be bad? Oh, okay, we're putting lizards on the art. Then why do you get Psych Rift? Where is the computer enhance? Just felt I needed a board wipe of some kind. Extremely loud and correct buzzer. Extremely loud and correct buzzer. If you are going to be committed to a theme, commit all the way. You cannot get 99% of the way. We cannot go 99% of the way and then be like, damn, I just needed a good card though. Just die. Just fucking die. This is also not a dragon. We want to be internally consistent. And so if you say you could ship to me all of my creatures are reptiles. All of my instants and sorceries, however, are cards to support my reptiles. But if we say everything is a reptile, and even if the card itself is not a reptile, it has a reptile on the art that I feel some type of way about, and then also here's Cyclonic Rift, it undercuts you. Like, even if in your mind it is superior to be 95% on theme rather than 93% on theme, all that other people are seeing is this motherfucker lied about their theme to play Cyclonic Rift. Like, that is how it's, because decks like these you do not play for yourself. We are playing this for the horror on other people's face as you continue to ask people to hear you out. So if we're going to be on that, we have to care about the optics of how the soap opera plays to everybody else. We have to pick our guardrails such that we can adhere with 100% consistency. And so if we just say like instants and sorceries, these are good cards, that's also fine. But whatever guardrails we pick, we got to be all the way on them. Scaling up. All right, that one's funny. All right. We going down the family tree right now? Are you going down a fucking phylum chart to hit people up? At least it's a snake. Okay, Naga Druid. All right, we have a bunch of 2-mana dorks. Oh, loser behavior. Hell yeah. Conventionally attractive reptile. Okay. I think this is where you will be put to the test. All right. Yes. Yeah, these are just people with weird heads. I mean, I've said no to this one. So this is not a, I don't agree with you, but I hear you on all of these. This is the typical furry bait of it is a person and we changed their skull a little bit. Hear me out. Exhibitionist rule, exhibitionist rule. Exhibitionist rule, exhibitionist rule, exhibitionist rule. That is a hot lady. Thing behind her. My thing is, how am I supposed to like match with somebody on Tinder and on the first date be like, how's your dog doing? How's your sentient legal adult dog doing? Harkness test. How is your highly trained sentient legal adult pit bull doing? That's what's weird to me. 5 heads, sir. You say that like you have 5 dicks. That's not the case. Exhibitionist rule. We already said no to Dragon Kevin Hart. Exhibitionist rule. No, I'm not. For me, the Scaly line is a hard stop once the Scalys start being twinks. No, potentially. I think the little guys are cute. I think they're cute, but like them being tiny defeats the exhibitionist rule. Listen, man, I just like scales. Okay, so these are our, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't even think Maskwood Nexus makes this shit function. Maskwood Nexus lets you put like menace and haste on these guys. That does not save this deck. We have to be cooking with something better. Okay, yeah, just a hot lady. Sure. Raptor treats. No. This may be the first time I say this to a Temur player. You have way too much faith in your counter game. No. So this to me looks like the section where we were coolest with breaking or not being on Scalys in order to support the Scalys. And for some reason, we tried to make sure that every card in here was just as bad as the Scaly cards. And I think that's a mistake. I think that we have convinced ourselves somehow that if we move around enough counters, something good will happen for us. Talk to me right now. Like, what have we... No scales? We have a pog. What? We're well past. We are well past everything needing to have scales. Even Starry-Eyed says we're trying to maximize scales, but we're not trying to do... We're not on only scales. And that's really where I think we save this type of deck, is we've done a little bit what the last deck focused too much on, which is we have this flavor theme that is non-mechanical. Our flavor theme is, for the purposes of this Twitch stream being monetized, the flavor theme of this deck is everything in here is a reptile that I think is neat. when you are hard committed to a flavor theme, you actually need to make yourself more flexible on the mechanical theme. And what this deck has done is we've taken the flavor theme and then said, well, if these are my commanders, I still need to activate my commander text box as much as possible. And that is not only not true, it is preventing you from letting the flavor theme shine. Out of this flavor theme, all we're really gonna get is, boy howdy do I have a lot of creatures. Boy fucking geez, do I have a ton of creatures in this deck. And there's a ton of things Temur can do to benefit the cause of, boy howdy, I have a ton of fucking creatures, which will turn this deck into probably bracket 2. If you just like play creatures and also Beastmaster Ascension, that's probably bracket 2. Let me sell you on a flavorful way to do card advantage. I am going to get them to pass a law. The joke I'm about to say, you may only say to people that know you. You may not say it outside the confines of your own home or a Discord channel. You take this card, you white out the title, you write smash or pass. That is how people make the piles. And then these types of effects, these types of pile effects can become your card advantage. And then we use this type of card advantage to get to all of our lizards and get to any of our good banners that can make the lizards fight better. I think the ramp is probably fine. The curve is relatively responsible for 37 lands, and most of these 2-drops are lands, or are ramp. It's really this section that I would want us to work over with, instead of like, oh, what if I did silly counter thing? What if I just hit you hard in the chest, dog? What if I punched you square in the chest as hard as I could? That should become the mechanical theme of the deck. I have enough faith in this curve to just like see like, goddamn, this card, like what the fuck? Yeah, make the commander text box totally irrelevant. We're skipping crazy turns right now. Like, see, Transit Mage in my mind going for Maskwood Nexus, nah. If we had something that could get Beastmaster Ascension or could get us like hard draw engine, this hand truly we should have mulliganed, because it's turn 3 and we have a 2/2. We don't have fucking green. Yeah, that one's a little rough. Okay, but now we have Cavern of Souls. This hand looks more playable. So we do a little ramping. We play, hey, we have a 5/4 with fucking trample. This is not nothing. This is a decent commander damage threat, and if people don't remove it, it will become a problem for them. Extremely loud incorrect buzzer mechanically. In the I would hit that deck, also extremely loud incorrect buzzer, also extremely loud incorrect buzzer, although I realize we're keeping this because it flips to something good. If we were playing like, God, you can play the extremely tired green spells like Garruk's Uprising. You could even do shit like Rishkar's Expertise, but stuff that lets us draw cards and continue playing our reptiles, and then stuff that will make the reptiles hit you crazy hard in the chest. Let me just look at green banners. We can do like Become the Avalanche Finisher. These are only legendaries. If you want to do counters, like stuff like Broodlord can do it, or like Court of Garenbrig, if we want to keep playing at least kind of into the counter game plan. All right, big question. Would you boink the turtle? It's a reptile, right? Big moment for Starry right now. It's a banner. Turtles aren't my thing. At least something isn't. I like this. I can't put it at peak because I do think it's at a crossroads. I think we are right now at the crossroads between, is this my bracket 1 exhibition in every sense of the word deck, or is this my bracket 2 deck that has a joke attached to every card I play? Next is Little Mix Doom's Spooky deck. Ignore the man on the front of the card. We only care about Awaken the Blood avatar. Make tokens, sack tokens, make avatars, attack with avatars, question mark, question mark, question mark, win, I think. From my experience, the attack trigger of the avatars do put the game on a clock for my opponents, but I have not actually won a game with this deck yet. Awaken my masters, IDK, I haven't watched JoJo's. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. I don't watch that either. All right, so we have Awaken the Blood avatar, which is we can sack creatures to cost reduce it. Everybody else sacrifices a thing. We get a 3/6 non-legendary, notably. Whenever it attacks, it deals 3 to each opponent. Okay, there's immediately a couple directions we can go to make that work. This also seems like we are on mechanical flavor and not on theme flavor. The theme is I cast a sorcery many times. Blood Avatar's little helpers. So we have double vision, very, very optimistic. Commander spells have Cascade, that's quite good value. Skull Storm. This seems weird. This seems like you were having a bad day when you put it in the deck. I do think the stuff that benefits off of you having cast your commander a lot, reasonable. Trying to make people sack more, I think less reasonable, less fun. Like legitimately 1-to-1 comparison with this. This is when I will play into the fucking commander player brainworms of how do commander as many times as possible. Not Skullstorm, Fury Storm. I have cast Awaken the Blood Avatar twice this game. I Fury Storm into my next cast of Awaken the Blood Avatar, and I cast it 4 times. Used to be in the deck, Fury Storm goes infinite. Copying Fury Storm with itself is the most fucking actually behavior you can ever do, because that achieves, if you don't have... Is it going infinite with something else in the deck, or are we talking about Fury Storm going infinite with itself? Because at that point, if we just avoid Magecraft payoffs, then it's like, that goes infinite the same way I can hold priority forever. No, I wouldn't add Magecraft to win. If anything, I would keep Magecraft out. MDFCs are good. I'm really just looking for Professor Onyx, or like anything that's going to make this a oops, I win type of infinite. Okay. So we're keeping it out because it will create infinite creatures, and we want this to stay bracket 2. We can work with that. I still think this sucks. Bro, trust. I absolutely do not trust you. Can't think of a clever tag for removal. It's honestly enough that you just brought this much removal. Okay, creatures you control gain afterlife. I can kind of see this to reuse our shit. Yeah, if we're on Mardu token generation, then I think the whole pile of token card draw deck can go in here. Lolth is clever. Whenever an opponent is dealt combat damage by one or more creatures you control, if that player lost less than 8 life this turn. Okay. Seize the Spotlight is a generically good enough card that I'll let you rock. Okay, Voter's Dilemma work. Graveyard, more like Raveyard. We're allowed to sacrifice as a cost, right? We don't need sack outlets because our commander is the sack outlet. So that does make stuff that can come back from the yard better. I think all of these work. We want to either make additional avatar tokens, we want to either make that trigger hurt more, or we want to make our avatar tokens fight better. Or we want to do like additional combats or something. Token DEI hires. Whenever something dies, make a 1/1 Satyr, make double, assemble the Legion. This is actually one of the few decks where I think Assemble the Legion could kind of cook, because this is how you will eventually cast Awaken. That's how you cast it every single turn. I think this is a mistake. That's a good token generator. I think this one's on the bubble. I think this is a mistake. I think this is kind of a mistake. That one's good. Fucked up and hateful. Fucked up and hateful and good. This can kind of work. At minimum, this is a mana dump. Sure, white. Hey, God, do I need advantage? No, stop. I mean, okay. I'll let you work. No, kind of believe in that. Don't believe in this as much because we're not doubling down on Magecraft. We can kind of do enough with like whenever we cast non-creature spells, but we have 23 instants and sorceries, and I realize we want to cast one from the command zone, and we'll see how it looks when I go to goldfish it. I kind of don't believe in your like big token generation ability, or a lot of these feel very, very slow. Wriggling Grub is downright fine. The least could be good. Let me just see how it plays. So we will eventually need that land because we have Assembled the Legion in hand. So we do nothing. We ramp. We do not have 5 motherfucking mana. We let this ETB tapped and we Bastion of Remembrance. I broadly think this is a waste of a turn for this type of deck because I don't think our thing should make only 1 token once. And I think what this deck is suffering from mechanically, the reason it doesn't win is because you are shoehorning yourself into tutorial boss mode. And what I mean by that is you have a very transparent win condition and you have really limited yourself on ways to pop out and show people, which is an important one part of magic at every bracket above bracket 1. If you're down in exhibition, you can have like, we are T-minus 17 days from me doing something powerful, but at every bracket above bracket 1, you want ways to establish a clock so that people think they know how threatening you are, and then you want ways to speed up that clock before they can react. And this deck seems exclusively like ways to set clocks and no ways to speed them up. So we go Abby, we go this. This is presumably like the best card in our deck, which is hilarious. So we assemble the Legion. I'm going to make a dwarf because it truly does not matter what type of counter is on this guy. How much is this? This is 8, but it goes down 2 for every creature we sack. Okay, we pay 8. Awaken the Blood Avatar happens. I get my 3/6. I attack. I have triggered Blood Avatar once. I'm just going to put a counter on it over here to keep track of it. This thing goes up to 2 counters. We pay 3 life. I make 2 dwarfs. I'm going to keep the dwarf token under this guy. So this costs 10 now. 8, 6. We have 6. I pay 6. We cast Awaken the Blood Avatar again. We have 2 Blood Avatar triggers. This is up to 3. And now what will happen is Awaken the Blood Avatar will increase in cost by 2 every turn, and we will get 1 additional token to cost reduce it by 2 every turn. So we can just cast Awaken the Blood Avatar every single turn of the game. And like Bastion of Remembrance doesn't super matter. I don't think casting Legion's Landing would really matter. I think the avatars are going to get blocked to death eventually. I do not think that's true because we are edicting every time we do this. If I edict you every single turn, eventually I will have good swings on people. So it's just turn 7, a 3rd avatar. I don't think it's too mean for tier 2. I think this is like, hilariously, this is the best card in the deck. The best possible thing this deck can do is ramp into Assemble the Legion. So looking at this, I do not believe that attack trigger doublers are actually the way to go. I think the better way to go is replace our bad token generators for better token generators. I think anything that can only make, see like Blood Art, no. This is where the cowardice is within you. Don't do that. Stop gaining life. Everybody's life goes to 0. This could be another mana rock to cast Assemble the Legion sooner. Yeah, I think Windcrag Siege would be good. So I'm much more on token on upkeep than I was. When I looked at the deck the first time, my first thing was like, tokens on upkeep seems kind of too slow. But looking at that playtest, if every game we just got to play like a token on upkeep effect, I think you can cast Blood Avatar enough to turbo fuck everybody. So like Windcrag Siege, Bitter Blossom, other good all-star token generators, Adeline. These are way better than your Aristocrats effects. I think the reason this deck is probably failing to win is you are attempting to win by arithmetic rather than brutal violence. So like Wriggling Grub we can kind of play with. However, Bitter Blossom is better than Wriggling Grub in every instance. Ophiomancer I honestly don't believe in. This is one of the better one-offs we can get. We're not on Blink, so we're not going to be able to do it over and over again, but you cut Bastion of Remembrance for this instantly. Yeah, I think that's the confusion of this deck. This deck is half Avatar pilled and half Aristocrat pilled. So rather than being on the things that Aristocrat decks want to do, which is typically value loops to try to slowly drain the table out, you can make good attackers very quickly while also clearing the board very regularly. So rather than doing this bullshit coward value loop thing, just be like, give me some boys, I'm gonna put them in the wood chipper. Next turn, I would like some new boys. Put them in the wood chipper. Next turn, can I get some new boys, please? Get me a new wood chipper. The old one has too much blood on it. Whereas right now, we're trying to win this war through fucking accounting, which is lame as shit.